So I watched Peter Sellers' The Party, which I'd already seen it when I was a teenager with my dad, and it's funny, and it's a romantic comedy, and you just really like the character he's playing. I just finished Celery and Carrot Juice, and so did James. Detector Series 3 was funny, and the first Purge was scary, and these movies are popular. I'm gonna have to put this on cool. I brought it out because yesterday I tried to sit out and it wasn't working out for me because I was too cold, and I wanted to talk about a few things. So anyway, cover up a little bit. That's the thing about the Halloween dress-up season in Canada. It should actually be in September. It's too cold in October. Okay, so I'm going to talk about, I was mentioning this blog post that I'm working on right now is talking about eating healthy on a low income, when you have low income. And well, just looking at this week's flyer, enjoy Thanksgiving. This it's available until Wednesday or something. Celery is 99 cents a pound, which I just had some celery juice. Green cabbage here was 79 cents a pound, but I went and checked, and this is the Save On flyer, and their red cabbage is also the same price, so it's 79 cents, which is why I went to Superstore, and it's 40-some cents for the green cabbage. So it's actually cheaper to buy green cabbage this week from Superstore, but it's more expensive for the red, and the red is a better cancer fighter, so you might want to pop over to Save On and get some. So cold. Or, I don't know, whatever. There was something else in here that was good. Oh, so cold. Well, the yams are on sale at both places. Well, I don't know. I can't remember what I was seeing. But, anyway, meat is far more expensive. Now, I was reading Apple Cider Vinegar, Miracle Health System by Paul C. Bragg and Patricia Bragg. And actually, I think it's just by Patricia reading it. But anyway, at first I was thinking it's written by Paul. But I don't even know. Anyway. Okay, so I'll read some of my notes. Can't find a date on it besides that it was added to the Vulcan Public Library collection on September 17th this year. Slams info at you like a publication found only at health stores. Print and pictures, black and white, crowded in every possible spot in the book. Inside cover not even given page number. And it lists apple cider vinegar as basically being a health tonic to cure you of everything. Or whatever it was listed, cure you of everything. And you can, pages I, V, and V, a request for your support, tax-deductible gift from $25, $2,500, or even a fill-in-a-blank amount. Organic, raw, unfiltered, unpasteurized apple cider vinegar with the Miracle Mother and Son is the best. Uh-oh, lost I don't know what that's supposed to be. I think this is supposed to be a collar, like worn up, but I didn't do that this time. They blame potassium deficiency for a lot of just about everything, but I mean, nutrition's complicated. And holy moly, I'm cold. But then, you know, later on reading the book, as I read, I found a lot of information which I already knew to be true, which made me think this might actually be worth reading. So, I did write down, at first I was not very, I wasn't enjoying the book. I was thinking this is just a waste of time. But then thermogenic herbs suppress the appetite. Barley, green, spirulina, alfalfa, sea vegetables, and green drinks. You should have a bowel movement soon after rising and within an hour after meals. And they give a bowel lubricant recipe. Postnasal drip, mucus sufferers, remove all dairy products, eggs, and sugars from diet. Take a weekly 24-hour fast, use apple cider vinegar, and brag healthy lifestyle. 4 of the best juices to add to vegetable juices are spinach, kale, cabbage, and watercress. 1 to 2 pints a day are more than enough. This is them saying that. I don't think that's true. I think, you know, like, you know that I don't, because I drink. I just drank a glass of carrot juice and a glass of celery juice. And this morning I had a glass of broccoli juice with the turmeric and stuff. So I do drink more juices. I just vary it, you know, different kinds each day. Anyway. The natural health laws of physical perfection. You must eat natural foods and never overeat. You must breathe deeply of God's pure air. You must exercise the 640 muscles of the body. You must give your body pure, safe, clean water. You must give your body gentle sunshine. You must not overwork or overburden your body. You must keep the body clean and inside and outside. You must live by divine intelligence and wisdom. That was page 47. 52. Every 90 days a new bloodstream. The river of life is built in the body by the foods you eat, the liquids you drink, and the air you breathe. From your bloodstream, the body's cells are made, nourished, and maintained. Every 11 months, we have a new set of billions of miraculous body cells. Every 2 years, we have an entirely new set of bones, hard tissues. There's no reason to get old, because the body is constantly cleansing and renewing its cells to keep your precious human temple healthy for a long, fulfilled, happy life. And that was page 52. And I mean, although these things are technically true, that every 11 months you have the new body cells, and well, you have new cells at different rates, like your intestine cells replenish themselves much more quickly. But the second quote, there's no reason to get old because of that is ridiculous. Yes, your body is renewing its cells, but when you're exposed to toxins, which we're constantly exposed to toxins, every day we're exposed to toxins, even breathe deeply of God's clean air. Well, good luck finding clean air to breathe deeply. Anyway, I mean, here I go losing my crown again. If you think about it, if you're in an area that has a lot of feedlots and intensive livestock operations, as I am, whenever the wind comes from the north or anywhere near there, I'm just going to take the crown off. It's not staying up there. Then whenever I breathe deeply, it smells like livestock manure, cattle, to be precise, and so every time I'm breathing deeply, that smell, it's not only the smell I'm getting, it's the dust particles, little tiny manure particles, and they carry with them often antibiotic resistance. So when I'm breathing deeply, I may be inhaling antibiotic resistant bacteria. And the toxins are, sure, the cells are renewing themselves, but they could have like one segment of DNA could have be damaged and have so it's replicated improperly all of a sudden, right? So, and that just, it'll keep replicating itself improperly. How, like, it can't become damaged and then so that it has an improper sequence and then somehow replicate the proper one again. It's already suffered the damage. Do you see what I'm saying? So, I mean, anyway, they do believe in a vegan diet, but it's not like what I would, I mean, they're having 60 to 70% raw organic fruits, veggies, whatever. But a large, like if you look at their pyramid, which is on, which page was that? I don't know. The pyramid's quite a bit later then in my notes because I'm not finding it. Well, anyway, their pyramid is not like mine would be. They do a food pyramid to try to replicate what used to be the common way to look at food. Anyway, now it's a plate, which is still silly. But maybe less silly. I don't know. But they have whole grains on the bottom, lots of them that you eat. I don't agree with that. I do agree with eating whole grains, but it should be certainly less than the veggies and stuff like that. And I mean, when they say 60% of the diet raw veggies and fruit, well, they didn't show that on the pyramid. That didn't agree with what they were saying in writing. Anyway, they say that Dr. George Miller, Britain Medical Research Council, high-fat meals make the blood more prone to clot within 6 to 7 hours after eating. Meat you consume is full of adrenaline since animals are under extreme stress and fear when about to die. They point out the protein contents of other vegetables. Like normally when you're thinking of eating protein, it's either going to be some sort of meat or meat product like cheese or something, or beans, right? If you're thinking vegetarian, you're thinking beans or lentils or something. But spinach is 49% protein, whereas navy beans are only 26% protein. Lentils are 29% protein. Kale is 45% protein. Watercress 46% protein. Oh, the broccoli is also 45. Brussels sprouts are 44% protein. Pumpkin seeds are 21% protein. And going back to the affordable diet, vegan diet is certainly cheaper than eating ovo-lacto vegetarian diet or a meat-based diet. It's just incredibly cheap to get the nutrients you need that way. And like I was able to buy Brussels sprouts for $1.60 some per pound today, and like I said, the green cabbage was 40 some cents at Superstore per pound. Oh, the pyramid was on page 61. What else did I write down from here? Well, they don't believe in microwaving your food because radiation deform, destroy molecular structure, leads to decreased hemoglobin, white blood counts, white blood cell counts, and increases cholesterol. It's basically the kind of diet that they recommend is the elimination of everything that everybody else would recommend. I would suggest that everybody else does. Everybody that I can think of recommends eliminating refined white flour, white sugar, salted, preserved, chemicalized foods, coffee, black and green tea, and green tea they recommend giving up, which not everyone does that. Cola, soft drinks, sugared and alcohol drinks. Earn your food by activity. Aspartame changes into formaldehyde in the body. Avoid all peanuts, peanut butter that contain hydrogenated hardened oil. Avoid all commercial vinegars, pasteurized, filtered, distilled, white malt, synthetic vinegars. They're dead vinegars. Serve humus, page 69. I think they meant hummus. And they give some recipes and stuff. So, anyway, that's this book. And I borrowed it from the library, and it's a lot better than I expected it to be. Now, I wouldn't recommend that you go out and buy any of their products that they're trying to sell you, unless you want to. Go ahead. But I would instead suggest that you borrow this book from your library, Brewing Everything by Dan Chrisman. And if you look on page 95, there's a pressed cider recipe. So it's a little late this time of year, although I still have some apples in the tree. I could probably get down and probably press into some cider if I had a better back. But I've already made a lot of apple wine, and I cook with it, and I think it's pretty good. And I use the juice from what I do is I make from the cores and the apples that aren't looking too good. I make the apple wine, and I let that sit for a year, so all the sugars, the yeast have eaten the sugars or converted the sugars completely. So there's so then they die out naturally. So I don't have to use any sulfites to kill the yeast, and I don't have any sugar left in my wine. And then I use it mostly kind of like a soup base, and it works out really well. And that, I mean, I just use cores and stuff for that. With the juice, I cook my beans in that, and for chili, it tastes amazing. And it makes the chili nice and thick and good too. So it's really, really easy to eat healthy on a if you think vegan diet. It's easy to eat healthy. It's easy to eat cheaply. To compare, like if you think about, if you're considering opening up a box of macaroni and dinner, and everyone does eventually, occasionally, whatever, it's such a waste. I mean, you don't have anything in there that's really of any nutritional value. It's not like there's some wheat, it's wheat based, but you're getting refined wheat. Unless you're really shopping around, you might be able to get a better brand or something, but still it's not going to be great. I mean, you can go out, if you're low income, you can get free bread from many different avenues. If you want, like here in town, the Salvation Army puts out free bread, and you could be a millionaire and go and get the free bread from them, and they wouldn't care. And so you could save the money you were going to spend on macaroni and just get the bread, and that's another form of the wheat. So just try to have a varied diet, and then you can spend the money elsewhere, like on Brussels sprouts today, or on green cabbage for 40-some cents a pound. Like, it's yeah. People think they're eating according to their budget when they're buying things that really aren't food, or things that they could, like, sure, the wheat is in a form of macaroni and you like to think of that as a main course meal, but is it really much different than a piece of bread if it's wheat based? I mean, the bread, you can get healthier bread for free than macaroni. So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I think I better go in before I freeze.